guys, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at ChicnScratch. This is the box we're making today. This is week 5 of the 12 weeks of Halloween, and it opens up just like this. Okay, let me give you the supplies. We've got basic black cardstock that measures 11 by 6.5. And then we have another piece to make this circle right here. That's a 2 5/8 circle. We've got the Monster Bash Designer Series paper. This piece measures 3 3/8 by 3.5. Then we have 2 pieces that measure 3 1/2 by 1 1/4. And then 2 more pieces that measure 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. Those will be on the free inspiration sheet over on my website. We've got crushed curry, 2 by 4, and then 2 by 1 1/2 for these pieces here. And then we've got some more of the Designer Series paper because we're cutting this out. Now this stamp set does have the stamp. So if you would prefer to stamp these images and then cut them out, you could do that. I really like using the paper because it has all the coloring done for you. So I went ahead and cut 3 off camera. I'll cut 1 of them on camera. But let's start with the box. So I'm going to get out the Simply Scored scoring tool. Okay, I'm going to place it on the portrait side first. And I'm going to score it at 1 1/2 on both sides. So 1 1/2, and then turn and 1 1/2. Then on the 11-inch side, I'm going to score it at 1 1/2, 5 1/4, 6 3/4, and 10 1/2. Okay, so fold on the score lines. Use your bone folder to burnish those edges. This is going to be using box template number 9, so that template is free and it's over on my website. It'll also be included in the week 5 of the 12 weeks of Halloween instruction sheet. Okay, so now we're going to take our scissors, and I have just my paper cardstock template here. The one on my website will be, of course, a diagram. So what I'm going to do is start with this 1/2 inch section right here, and I'm going to remove both of these pieces, so on each side. Okay, and come down here, cut up to the score line, and cut up to the score line. And then I'm going to give this one a slight angle trim on the left and to the right. And then I'm going to repeat the same thing on this side. So just come over here and cut up to the score line. And then trim this middle one. Okay, now here's your 1/2 inch section right here. We're going to take this section here and we're going to cut a 1/2 circle with our 1 inch circle punch. Okay, we're going to apply or add our adhesive to these 4 tabs. So I'm going to get my tear-in tape, and I am going to go ahead and tell you that Brooke and the birds and David are upstairs right above us watching a football game. So I will try to edit out any noise, but sometimes it's like the noise happens at the worst possible time and I can't edit it out. So I'm going ahead and saying that just in case you hear a hooping and a hollering or something. Okay, I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool to remove the backing of the tear-in tape. I will be making a Christmas version of this same box. I haven't designed it yet, but I'm going to as soon as I film this video. Okay. Now attach this here, and this over here, and then this, and this one. Now, right here, you're going to see a dilemma, okay? So you can see it's not going to close. So So what you're going to do is you want to take your scissors and you're just going to angle cut right there, and you're going to do this on both sides. And if I open up my box, you can see there it is, okay? So here we go. And then put that on the inside. And that is a very tight, snug fit, okay? Now let's add our designer series paper. We first want to sponge it with the crushed curry ink. You can use sponge daubers or you can use our sponges. The sponge daubers, if you'll notice, it gives it a thicker, I don't know, like a wider sponge, whereas these sponges, it's a lighter. It's hard to explain. Okay, 2 more pieces and then we'll be done with this. And you don't have to do this step if you're not a fan of sponging. I know some people are and some people aren't. I used to sponge things a whole lot more than what I do now. Okay, we're done with the crushed curry. And now we're just going to turn these over and add our liquid glue. So now that the holiday catalog is gone live, all of this product is finally available. I know it was a little bit confusing there for a while because I used it for a whole month before it was available. I told my husband it's like the iPhone. They show it to you a couple months before you can actually buy it. It builds the anticipation, right? Now we're going to be repunching that 1/2-inch circle in just a minute. We'll give that a chance to dry. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so there's that. And then here's this one. Now that we're done adding the designer series paper, we want to repunch that circle. So I'm just going to reach in here. Did I get it? Oh, I was a little short on that, but there we go. Okay, so again, closes just like that. Okay, now we're going to take the basic black cardstock and we're going to emboss it with the Stylish Scroll embossing folder. We're going to cut out the crushed curry cardstock. These are the 3 dies that we're using today. So this one for the greeting, this one for crushed curry, and then we're going to cut out the circle out of that one. So let's go ahead and stamp our image so that we'll just have to get the big shot out one time. I'm using Memento ink. The stamp set is Spooktacular Bash. Okay, now we'll get the big shot. So I'll move everything out of the way real quick. Okay, so the big shot, and then we're going to emboss that layer first. So we'll just place it between 2 cutting pads. Now I'm going to take that same piece and I'm going to cut out our 2 5/8 circle. And then now we'll cut these 2 out. So here's this one. Here's our greeting. Here's our circle. And then now we want to cut out the rest of our jars. So I've got 3 of them already cut out. I'm going to take the paper snips and cut out the final one. Let's see. So we've got all of them but this one little jar right here. And I know some of you like to fussy cut, some of you hate it. These jars are pretty easy, and you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. There's so much detail on this project that no one's going to notice if you don't cut perfect. Okay, there's that one. Now, we're just going to build our layers on top of this circle. That makes it really easy. I'm going to take your pick tool though and get the rest of these little pieces out. Okay, so then I'm just going to take my liquid glue and add the glue just in a line right here in the middle and attach this one. So that goes right there. Okay, so I've got the black dimensional here. Place it on the back of the crushed curry. And then I'm going to add it right here to the edge. So 3 of these jars are added just with liquid glue. So we're going to start with a little bat one. And it's going to slide a little bit under the open if you dare. And the beauty of using the liquid glue is if you do this fast enough, if they're not spaced right, you can slide them around for just a second. So there's that one. Add this little one over on the left side. And then this one's going to get popped up with a dimensional. And I think that looks pretty good, right? Okay, so now we're going to take this and add it to the top of the box just with some dimensionals, black dimensionals. The difference between the black and the white is that with the black pack, you actually get the mini and the regular size all in one pack. Someone asked that question. I thought that was a great question. Okay, so now let's tie our bow with the crushed curry seam binding. I can hear Gizmo upstairs. Better him than the football game though. Okay, I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. And we'll fix it once we get it trimmed here. Okay, so just going to make it a little bit smaller and then trim each side. We're going to take a glue dot to add it to the box. So just put it right there, and then we're going to add it right down here in the corner. And then the final step is we're going to take your pick tool and add 3 of these Monster Bash enamel shapes. I just wanted to add some kind of bling to this project. Okay, then I'm going to place the second one here, right up there. And then the third one over here. Okay, there it is. How's it compare? Pretty good, right? So if you'd like to order any of the product that I used today, it is finally available over on my website. There's a link to it below the video box, and there is a supply sheet with pictures, the diagram for this project. If you need anything, let me know. Have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye.